Troy. And Virginia Tech has the midweek off. They play Saturday against Florida State. With a sports flash on 1420 NBC Sports Radio Tri-Cities, I'm Matt Pauley.
Well, let's go right into it. I am Marky Billson. Our thanks to Joe Rexrod. By the way, Steve Forbes coming up 1 p.m., head coach of the Red Hot ETSU Buccaneers. By the way, Holly Warlick appears on this show start of the year before the ETSU game. Now look where the Lady Vols are. Beating the national champion. I mean, you know, I've always been in Holly's corner. I have always been in Holly's corner, and I think that you should be too. Tri-City Sports now, but I want to get into, well, I guess before we do that, there's a couple of other things, just because we were talking about Marcus Mariota and Mike Mularkey getting fired as the head coach of the Tennessee Titans, or a mutual agreement of a parting of ways, if you want to be very kind about it. Field Yates, he is a reporter for ESPN. This is what happened with the extension.
Day after a win last Saturday night over the Kansas City Chiefs. But if you look closely at the words from the Titans ownership group about him sticking around as the head coach long term, if you parse them, you can see that it was sort of a soft stance by the Titans as an organization.
And Yates says that Mularkey had the support of his players.
It's a surprise, as this is a man who the players clearly respected and the team had thrown some public confidence behind over the past 8 days. And yet this morning, the Tennessee Titans will officially begin the search for their newest head coach.
I don't know. I mean, I can only just say I don't know. I always, especially after, you know, running Butch Jones press conferences here on 1420 NBC Sports Radio Tri-Cities, I know of Mularkey being an honest coach. I liked his assistants. But I liked Deshae Townsend. I like Dick LeBeau. I worked with these guys before. I've had that inside knowledge. And, you know, I know that Mularkey's record is overall a losing one. But at the same time, you know, you're talking about a franchise that was going nowhere. Absolutely nowhere. Mularkey comes in, and he makes him a winner. And one bad second half against the New England Patriots. Boy, you know, did the Steelers get rid of Mike Tomlin? I want you to think about that. I mean, because that's what happened last year in the AFC title game. That being said, a competition for Josh McDaniels, and let's face it, Bill Belichick assistants do not fare well in the NFL. Even Nick Saban was 15-17. But interesting if the Titans could take away the Colts' hand-picked coach. That would be very interesting. Now, so they can't officially talk to him for 7 days. My question is this. What if the Patriots lose to the Jaguars? Then McDaniels can coach right away. Can go to either Indianapolis or Tennessee or wherever he, you know, needs Arizona. I don't think he's going to go to Arizona, but, you know, you can go to any of the places that have vacancies right away. And, you know, there might be a bidding war, possibly. But what would it mean to the Titans if they took away, in the division, the Colts' hand-picked coaching candidate? If they took their coach away. And that would send an organization, let's face it, the Indianapolis Colts, Jim Irsay, that might be the worst organization in all of the NFL. You can argue Cleveland Browns. I mean, that'll be up there. The Raiders with Mark Davis, that's not real good. You know, the Cincinnati Bengals with Mike Brown, that's not real good. Notice how, the exception of the Browns, it's all sons of former good owners. For that matter, the Titans organization, and the Malarkey firing proves this, it's not one of the best. No. It's not the Patriots. It's not the Steelers. But you're looking at a circumstance in which, you could take the Colts coach away, and that would totally send Andrew Luck or no. And how good will Andrew Luck be, for that matter? What would that mean? Could be a very big positive. I will give you that. I also, and I said to Joe Rexford, I'm just going to throw this out. He mentioned, is Franklin a great coach or is he a great recruiter? But can you imagine James Franklin coming back to Nashville if you don't get Josh McDaniels? I'm just throwing a name out there. Who would you get? It would seem to me that when you look at, standard NFL, let's see who the guys are out there that are assistant coaches. By this time, it's all picked over. You want if you'll pardon the pun, because you're going up against Indianapolis, a frisky young Colt to come in and coach the Tennessee Titans. That's your big criticism of Mike Malarkey. No, Mark Malarkey was not a frisky young Colt. Anything but. And that's why, as we talked to Joe Rexford, he wasn't popular. But you want that young up-and-comer? Franklin? Tell me why not. Tell me why not. Well, it's the recruiting. You go through the draft. Point taken. That would be viewed as a popular, progressive hire. That would be thought of, as, can you imagine also what that might mean to the SEC? I mean, you'd have Vanderbilt's coach there with the Titans and, Mason and Franklin right there in Nashville. There would be that alliance, if you will, that I think they've always really looked for, that no SEC team really would have had with a pro team. And it's debatable if there really is one in college football. You got to remember, I used to cover the Steelers and I used to cover the Pitt Panthers, and they shared a complex and a practice complex. And so, supposedly when the Panthers are recruiting a player, Mike Tomlin actually shakes the guy's hand. Well, what would that mean if James Franklin came in for Vanderbilt and did that? Just theoretically. I don't know if he would or not. I'm just theorizing here. I've got a monologue here that I want to get to, and I want to talk about the firing of Mike Malarkey. I also want to talk about another coach named Mike that I think should be axed post-haste. Post-haste. You might figure out who it is. But before I do that, I want to remind you that tonight, 6 p.m., we've got Hampton and Unicoi County basketball. We've got the girls first, Haley Pageant and company. Should be a good game. And then the boys coming off an exciting quadruple overtime 97-94 victory at Sullivan Central. You heard me, quadruple overtime. I happened to attend it. Troy Podvin putting up the three-point play, the field goal with the free throw with 10.8 seconds left in, yes, the fourth overtime to keep Unicoi County's record at 5-0 in the Three Rivers Conference and put them in first place. That was impressive. Now, this is a non-conference game against the Hampton Bulldogs, but we have it today on 1420 NBC Sports Radio Tri-Cities. So, we want to thank our sponsors, and they are as follows. Health and Home Care, Jones and Church Farms, the Unicoi County Insurance Agency, Unicoi Cass Utility District, Farm Bureau Insurance, Irwin Paint and Body Shop, who do very good work and do not insult your intelligence with their commercials. David True has no belief of godlike powers of the weather and what that has to do with getting the dent out of your fender, I don't know in the first place. But Irwin Paint and Body, they do work for me. They should do work for you because they are that good. The Clinchfield Federal Credit Union, computer guy in Irwin, he's that good too. If you don't live in Irwin, drive into Irwin, to downtown Irwin, and go to the computer guy to get that virus out of your computer, to fix your computer. Great work, very economical price, worth the trip in saving money to come into Irwin. Take it from me, computer guy in Irwin. Relay for Life of Unicoi County. Dentists have long been associated with sports. Yes, they have. Dentists, yeah. Doc Carlson was in the first Hall of Fame class in basketball. Springfield, 1959. Doc Carlson, figure eight, he was a guy, remember, semi-pro, practicing without the ball. Doc Carlson came up with that. He was a dentist. Okay, Dr. Jason Cunningham doesn't run the figure eight. However, he is a pretty good dentist. Go see him for all your tooth needs. Irwin Utilities, Irwin Bonding, the Unicoi County Memorial Hospital, Urgent Care of Irwin, Irwin Pets, and of course, the Irwin Kentucky Fried Chicken, where we give away $25 gift certificates throughout our home broadcasts of Unicoi County sports. So, those are our sponsors. We hope that you patronize them. We hope you will listen in to this evening to Unicoi County basketball at Hampton. When we come back, I'll be talking about what Mike should have been fired.
Country Buick GMC. It means